Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, remote here again today, here in my parents' basement. But today we're going to be talking about jacket sewing. It is that time of year. Jackets are some of my favorite things to sew. And so I'm going through 5 jacket styles that I'm seeing and ready to wear right now, and I've matched 3 to 4 patterns with each one, so that you have some options of the type of jacket that you would like to make this fall. But before we get into that, today is Friday, which means we have a Love Notions Feature Friday pattern, and that is the Rockford Raglan. Is that what it's called? Yes, the Rockford Raglan. The Rockford Raglan. I have made this before. I made it for my daughter. I just can't find any pictures of it to show that up here. But it's just a t-shirt pattern with a raglan sleeve. It has a few different options. Has the full bust front. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive because I think it was one of the ones that was updated. I think all the patterns now, top patterns and dress patterns, have the full bust front option. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, $5 today only, and my code has gone back to a more reasonable 10 TK Stitchery, and that will get you an additional 10% off that $5 price, which is a really great deal. Okay. Also, my mother would like to say thank you for all the compliments on her wallpaper back here. In the comments on Tuesday, there were a few people, well, maybe it wasn't even on the video, like also on Instagram, commenting on the wallpaper. So, thank you. She says thank you. My cousin and aunt, we can't remember which one. Both my cousin and my aunt are interior designers, and we can't remember which one picked it out, but one of them picked it out. So yes, I'm in my parents' basement right now, and you will be seeing me down here for one more video. So we're making this work. Okay, let's get into the list. So the first jacket that I've picked, this is kind of the cropped bomber trend that we're seeing right now. And I say it's a little different than, I feel like the bombers that we're seeing a little bit more of right now are ones that have more of a collar, like less of just the knit stretchy band right here and just a little bit more of a collar. Honestly, all of these jacket patterns are things that we've seen countless times. It's just a little bit of a different twist that seemed to be happening a little bit more currently right now. I love this look. I love the look with the little A-line skirt. I just think it's really cute and with some color blocking options. So for this one, I have my computer here too, on the little, making do with everything, on the little chess table that's sitting right here. And I have got 4 patterns that you could use to recreate something very similar. So the first one that I've grabbed is the Love Notions clef coat. I've been wanting to make this thing forever. I think this one is not quite like as cropped. It's really more of a high hip, but it's got quite a few different options. And I think the one with just like the stand-up collar with the elastic there at the bottom, I think that's the key. Having something that cinches in a little bit at the bottom seems to be the key. And then being just a little bit more oversized on the top part of the body is kind of what I'm seeing. So I've gone with the clef coat. Again, I really want to make this. I love to jacket sew. And as soon as I'm back in my sewing room, I have got plans for some jacket sewing. I just need to get back in my sewing room. So that's the goal. The second one that I have picked is the Pattern Emporium Smitten Jacket. Pretty sure I own this. If not, I was planning on purchasing this one. I think this one is so cute. So this one's a little bit more of a jean jacket style, kind of. There are a couple of different views that you can make here, but with the elastic there at the bottom, and it's a little bit fuller sleeve. I just think it's a really cute jacket, and you have because of the jean jacket styling seam lines, you've got some options for doing some color blocking, which would really go well. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of color blocking, like the inspiration picture. Next, this one's a little bit newer to me. This is, and I'm going to totally butcher her name. This is a French pattern company, but it's Coralie, no, it's Bijasson, and I know the J is not pronounced. Biasasson, I don't know. Anyway, it is her Nessa bomber. This is also a new to me pattern company one that I've not sewn from, but this Nessa bomber was one that I thought was really cute and definitely would be along the same lines of recreating the cropped jacket in the inspiration picture. And then finally, this one is not a bomber, but it's just a cute little crop jacket. This Nomi Patterns, the ME2089. And this is the Brittany J. Jones, her this adorable cropped trench coat. So obviously it's not a bomber, it's a trench, but I think that, I mean, you see trench coats all over the place in fall, and I think that this one is so cute being at that cropped length, and it still gives you kind of the feel. It doesn't have the elastic that goes around the bottom like the others do, but a really great option for creating something a little bit different. I could totally see myself making this for my daughter. She would be all over this. It's just, yeah, it's a really cute and maybe a fun color. Like you could do a neutral, but it could also be fun to do a fun color of this crop jacket. I just think it's adorable. It's got the little belt there around the bottom. So cute. So cute. And that's one, I'm pretty sure that's, I'm positive, that's one of the newer pattern releases from Nomi Patterns. Okay, jacket pattern number 2. This is more of, I mean, we've been seeing this for quite some time. Hold on, I'm pulling this up too. We've been seeing more of these oversized jackets for quite some time. And there's nothing like really revolutionary about this other than the fabric that it's made out of. But it's still, I think, kind of that tailored coat while still being oversized. Now, I am filming this on Wednesday. You're watching it on Friday. And I'd already done all the research and stuff for this video. But I'm going to point out that I just opened my email this morning, and Closet Core Patterns has a brand new coat pattern, and it would be absolutely perfect for this. So go take a look at that. I can't even remember the name of it, but it literally was just released today, but I had already done the research for this video. So the first one that I am thinking you could easily use. So the elements I was looking here were a little bit more of some tailored options like a notch collar, that sort of thing, while still being oversized. Obviously, to get the inspiration, and you don't have to go bright plaid. You could absolutely do like a bright pop of color. I saw that a ton in doing my fall wardrobe sewing or research. It's just a solid color, or even you can even go more neutral, you know, whatever. That's the beauty of sewing. We can make whatever we want and whatever fabric we want. But the first one I've gone with is the I Am Patterns Rose. I thought that this one was a perfect dupe. It comes in a shorter length and a longer length. I would make the longer length on this if you were wanting to copy the inspiration. Yeah, and do something fun and kind of unexpected. But yeah, the oversized coat, definitely in. The other one that I grabbed, and this one I have made, this is the Nomi Patterns ME2001. This is Nikki from Butte, oh my gosh, Butte du Jour. Butte J'adore. Oh my gosh. I tell you, I need more sleep is I think what it comes down to. Anyway, this is also an oversized coat pattern and with some tailored aspects. It's a pretty quick sew considering the type of jacket it is. I made mine in a wool from Minerva that was kind of in a brown rust color. And I made it, it was a sew the look for Dan Levy, actually, look that I was recreating from a commercial. And anyway, it's a lovely jacket, really big and oversized, makes it really easy to put on, especially over some of the more statement sleeves and things like that that are very in right now. Having that roomier overcoat really helps with that. The next one is the Tessuti Patterns Richmond coat. Again, just a nice oversized coat with that beautiful lapel. A lot of really great options in this one as well. I have not made any Tessuti coat patterns. I have made a couple of their, it's been a long time, a couple of their other patterns, but I mean, this one looks, I mean, you do that in a bright plaid and you would be spot on. And then finally, I have gone with the Bella Loves Patterns Traveler Coat. This one has some trench-ish elements. I would make it without the belt because I think the belt, I mean, you could make it with the belt if you wanted to. But if you're trying to recreate that kind of real oversized look, you could just omit the belt. You can do what you want, but there's a few different options that are shown in the pictures of this pattern. And one of them is the longer version, and then it's just open, which is absolutely how I would sew that to recreate the inspiration picture. Okay, pattern number 3 is this, it's the barn. This goes by so many names. Barn coat, car coat. It's kind of a workman jacket. So this feels like a little bit of that trend of that, you know, workman jacket that also was kind of the shacket trend. And now it's kind of, they're all very similar, turned into this. I grew up calling them a barn jacket. I absolutely had one in high school. I think from LL Bean. It had a corduroy collar, and then I think mine was olive green, like a cotton twill olive green. I totally rocked that back in the 90s, and they're back. So honestly, the patterns that I picked here, I think the key for, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing like either suede or leather top collar, or corduroy is kind of the key there for the top of the collar. And then, pockets, a really good lined jacket that you can, throw over it's almost kind of an anorak, but anyway, I picked a few different styles to kind of help recreate this a little bit. I would also like to point out that some of these kind of cross over with each other. Like you see some of the barn jackets that are a little bit more cropped. We're going to get into a quilted jacket in a little bit. You're also seeing those quilted, and you're seeing, I feel like a lot of these kind of overlap, and some of the elements definitely have some crossover, which could also be kind of fun. But for the first pattern, I've gone with the Pattern Emporium downtown jacket. Now, this one comes in a couple of different versions. It kind of a low hip version, which is probably the one I would make, or it does also come in a cropped version. So you could make this also cropped. Again, I think the key here is choosing a different fabric for that, the top of the collar. You could use, like a cotton twill or a waxed cotton for the under collar, but having that suede or leather or corduroy on the top, I think is the key to really recreating the look of that barn jacket or car coat or whatever you want to call it. And because it's just the top collar, this is the perfect chance to do some thrifting and upcycling, finding, especially when it comes to like leather and suede. A lot of times the pieces that end up at a thrift store have like a hole in them, or, just look really worn in places. Well, buying those pieces and then just cutting around it and using other areas that look a little bit better is a great way to recycle leather that's already out there. And, you don't want it to go to you don't want anything. We want to try and eliminate waste, right? Like that's the whole point. But those are really great projects to work on. And if you wanted to get kind of fun, I made in fact, I just wore it the other day, my Closet Core, what's the name of that jacket? The workman jacket that they've got. Cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head. But if you've been watching for a while, I made it in a striped woven cotton it was a Distashify make. And I used a pair of purple suede shorts that I thrifted that were very small. There was no way I was going to be able to ever wear them. And I used it for the pockets in the front and the collar, the top of the collar. You could use something like that. You could find an unexpected color. It doesn't have to be just a neutral. A lot of times you're seeing like a chocolate brown or camel color. You could totally do an unexpected pop of color to make it kind of fun. Okay, so the second one is the Itch to Stitch Delaware jacket. This is more of a stand-up collar. It's not really a fold-over collar. So, you can fold it over, but I liked this one because honestly, I really would like to make this one, but it does have an option for cinching in waist. I know that some people do like to have a little bit of waist definition, and that's not really my priority just because of the way I'm shaped, but it is my daughter's priority. So if you're wanting something with a little bit more waist shaping and that doesn't hang quite as rectangular or boxy from your frame, this would be another great option. Next, the Chalk and Notch Den jacket, the cropped version. And this one's like cropped. It's like high hip, which I think would be my version of cropped. Because I don't want to do at my waist because then it makes my torso look even shorter comparison to my legs. It just emphasizes the fact I say disproportion. It's all in the eye of the beholder. Yes, my torso is short compared to my legs, so I don't often want to accentuate that. I want to kind of trick the eye a little bit. So cropped things that hit at my high hip actually make my torso look a little bit longer and then make my legs look a little bit more in proportion to the rest of my body too. I would really be interested in making this one up, and it looks like a pretty easy sew. And again, these jackets can be lined or unlined, so and obviously an unlined jacket is going to be even quicker. And then finally, the Seam Work Parker jacket. This is one of their, if it's not the newest, it is a newer pattern that just came out, a club pattern. You don't have to have a club membership to buy their patterns. You can buy their patterns as is, but if you do have a club membership, maybe take a look at this one. It's a little bit different in that it is an A-line shape. This actually really reminds me, my grandfather had a coat just like this that was like his top coat that he would wear in the transitioning seasons, but it had a contrasting collar and it was in like a cotton twill, like a camel cotton twill, and then or like well, I guess it probably was a twill. I'm remembering this from obviously years and years ago, but the same fabric that you would make a pair of like khaki pants out of, and which would probably is more of like a twill. And it was kind of an A-line shape, but then it had a contrasting collar on the top. And I can't remember if this was corduroy or leather. Doesn't matter. But that did bring to mind that. And I think that that could be a really fun, a really fun, something different. Like you don't see, I found a few different patterns that were more of the A-line shape, and it's just something a little bit different. And, depending on your body shape, it might be a shape that you just really like to wear. I think it's really cute. I have a raincoat with that shape that I really like wearing. And I think this would be a really cute one to try and make up. Again, probably with minimal pattern pieces, and it'd probably go together really quickly. Jacket pattern number 4 are quilted jackets. These have also been around for a few seasons now, like very popular. And you see some that are a little bit more fitted, some that are a little bit more roomy. So I tried to get a little bit of a collection of different types of these quilted jackets. This can be great if you are, again, thrifting a quilt. I know that this can be a very controversial thing because, oh my gosh, you're cutting into these, beautiful quilts. But sometimes these beautiful quilts have like big holes in them, or like a huge stain or something. So it's a way to save these pieces without, because what are the options? It's in a thrift store. So what are the options? It either goes to waste, or you can turn it into something that can be used again. So, I know there are different sides here, but you can also make your own quilt, quilt your own fabric to make your own quilted style jacket, which could also be some fun. But the first one I've picked is the Love Notions Coda Quilted Jacket. I have made this. I love mine. I quilted mine myself with flannel on one side and a cotton lawn on the other. And I did. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I did put batting in between there. It's a really pretty quick pattern to go together. And, you use the bias tape. It's a great practice, too, for using bias binding. You can kind of take your time, and, it's a lot of fun. The next one that I have picked is the Fiber Mood Marcia jacket. This one's a little bit different. It's a little bit more, I feel like maybe fashion forward a little bit. I do think you have to have a, I could not wear this jacket because the way that those sleeves, the shoulders come off, will make me look like a linebacker. But if you are smaller on top, or if you're someone that just does like to emphasize your upper body, I would absolutely make this one. I think it's really cool. And again, a very trendy looking jacket. And honestly, Fiber Mood had quite a few different quilted jacket options. So it's worth having a look. The next one I've grabbed is the Megan Nielsen Hovia jacket. I have seen this one done up quite a few times. It's not a, I don't know how old it is, but it's not particularly new. But it has some really cute options, one of which is using the ties to close it up in the front, which seems to be very on trend right now. I've seen a ton of like quilted vests that use the ties to close it up. Or you can do more of the just like an open jacket. It has a couple of different lengths. Jenny really wants to make this one up, but another really great option. And then finally, I've gone with the Helen's Closet Wildwood jacket and vest. This is a gender neutral one, so you can make it for whoever in your life. And it has the vest option as well as the jacket option. And again, I've seen quilted vests that have also been very big currently as well. So that might be something that you want to explore too. All right. And then the final pattern, or the final jacket that I have grabbed, is the, I don't know what we're calling this. It is a dupe of the Totem kind of scarf jacket. I think that's what we called it when Jenny made her dupe of this. But you're seeing them quite frequently. And again, they are still all over the place. Obviously, Totem was the designer that originally made it. And then, then it trickles down, and, less expensive brands start, copying and, recreating their own versions, more affordable versions and that sort of thing, which is just the way fashion works. But I have found 3 patterns that you could use to recreate your own Totem jacket. The first of which is the one that Jenny used when she did hers, and that is the Style Arc Wren jacket. She went through and did the crocheting on the edges, which is just like the dupe. But you can also use bias binding, or if you're using something like a boiled wool or a Melton wool that doesn't fray, you can also just leave those edges cut. I mean, that can be a really cool option as well. Or you could even use like a faux suede and just leave those edges cut too. The next one is Nomi Patterns ME2097. Donnie Q, it's one of his patterns, and I think this is also one of the newest releases from the newest Nomi Patterns releases. It's the jacket. This makes it a little bit more gender neutral, so again, for whoever you're sewing for, it could be a really great option. And then finally, Simplicity 9685. There was actually two, 9685 and 9686. Same pattern. It was just in the two different size ranges. So, I mean, I just grabbed the 85 one, but know that there is another pattern with the larger size range that is out there. If this is something you're interested in, this gives you the option for making this in a few different lengths as well. So you can really play around with customizing your own scarf jacket. It's just very on trend right now, and they're really cute. Jenny can't wait to pull hers out again for, as the weather is finally starting to cool off. So that's another really good one to look into. So there you go, guys. 5 fall jackets that you can sew yourself to recreate your own in your wardrobe. I hope this has been a helpful video for you. I hope that wherever you are this weekend, you're getting some sewing in. Know that I'm jealous. And I'll see you guys again on Tuesday. Have a fabulous weekend.